EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no...
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. So a tester from 4 feet. So Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
And ready to tee off here at the par 4, 391 yards second.
Yeah, it's not overly long. The biggest priority for the players is just avoiding the bunkers. All 11 of them, whether it be with your tee shot or the second hole. But at that modest length, it is very much a birdie hole.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Second shot, good look at the green. Good clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the third. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
Drivable par 4. Not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Oh, I thought he had that. That was not a very good read right there. Trying to make yet another birdie. In the hole for birdie. Here's the first par 5 on the golf course. It's the 4th hole. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Certainly one of the best opportunities on the front side. There's 3 bunkers, but really the one that you focus on is the one on the right. If you can carry that, that's certainly the one to take on, because that ball will kick a lot further down the fairway. And sometimes you can be left with just a mid-iron into this green.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Be good. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. These putts keep the round together. Frank, this is just an absolute bludgeon right now. An eagle, and the lead widens. At the par 3 5th, ready to get this hole started.
Prevailing breeze once again should be coming from the water, which is on the right. That makes that tee shot a little bit more difficult because it pushes the ball to those 3 bunkers on the left side.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 601-yard behemoth par 5 6th hole. You can pay the steep price here, Frank, for a mistake.
You can. You can't reach this green with your tee shot, so there's no reason to even try. A good drive, if it bounds down the right side and will eventually go left, would perhaps give you a chance to reach this par 5 and 2. But this is one tee shot to concentrate on.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's at sneaky distance.
Wow, what a putt. That is huge. All right, Frank, how about the 6th hole, long par 5?
Yeah, 3 bunkers off the tee. Avoid those. But if you hit a good one, certainly reachable. He's gone for a little extra. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Oh, huge.
Ooh.
Huge with a capital A.
Busted that.
Lucky devil. That was going in the bunker all the way.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Eyeing this putt. Birdie.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, here we are. All of 123 yards. It's the famous postage stamp hole.
It sits up there nice and proud. It's protected by 5 bunkers, but avoid the ones on the right. They're the deepest, all the way down on that right side.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Ready to go here at the 9th at Royal Troon Golf Club. 423 yards. What are you looking to do with this one, Frank?
Well, it's another one that's a dogleg left. It's called the Monk, actually, because it faces the village of Monktown. 1 bunker on the left, 285 yards to carry that, but it's not that you're trying to carry it, it's you're trying to cut the ball off that.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Birdie try again here today. Good putt. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Flagstick 125 yards away. Has hit a lot of quality shots. Clipped that one perfectly and it spins in there inside of 5 feet. Just a gorgeous shot. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, this 11th hole can be a real bear. Even the Golden Bear knows that.
Yeah, just to remind him, in his rookie year in 1962, he made a whopping 11. Now, I can't remember the last time I heard Jack Nicklaus made double figures on one hole.
Yeah, so maybe a bogey 5 or even a double bogey 6. Not so bad. Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Not too much and not too little. Perfectly played into the center of the cup. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is course right and left. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
You hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that hole location.
Good looking shot right here.
That is classy.
Yeah, chance of going in.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward, but it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
Split the fairway with that. Just a gorgeous swing. Second shot. Good look at the green. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. He's made it. Frank, break down the par 4 13 for us.
Another par 4 that bends to the right. Lots of undulation on this fairway. This is the first of 6 straight holes that head in the direction of the clubhouse. Second shot.
And he's made it onto the green now. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
.135 yards to the hole location, sitting very nicely in that fairway.
He's safely on deck.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Settles in over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. It was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
Well, that one is deep. Every bit of that ball. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Oh, looked like you caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Count that for eagle. Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th, and what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. He has a 12-footer here. We have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
If you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of
advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today.
Well, that was a tricky one, but it's in.
There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the Open Championship.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Has his par. Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
What is he all like?
Clean this up with a tap. Good roll.
Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the 3rd. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Good putt.
Rich Lerner back at historic Royal Troon with Frank Novola, who's played the Open Championship on 2 occasions here. It's a golf course that goes back to the late 1800s. This is the first par 5, Frank, on the golf course, and you would think a chance to make a birdie and get that round started.
It certainly is. Dogleg right, 2 bunkers on the left. If you hit the ball a little bit straight, you'll certainly get into those pot bunkers. The one on the right, most people can carry. You carry that, this par 5, more than reachable.
Good chance at one. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. These putts keep the round together. Wow, Nate Siegel makes everybody else look sort of average, Frank.
And look at the size of that lead on the leaderboard now.
Now, the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole, a little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Getting set now over the putt. Good roll. Solid. That's a par.
Moving on to hole number 6 here at Royal Troon. Frank, what are the golfers facing at this long par 5?
Well, you've got to attack this hole in chunks, Rich. Just allow the mounding on the right to kick the ball forward, then try and position that second shot. Keep well away from that pot bunker that's a little bit short, about 30 yards right and short of this green. That is the one that causes the problem.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
Good roll, good putt.
Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Chance to get it close here.
Rich, it's a different challenge today. The weather is so day-to-day out here, and when you get a breeze like this that's kicking up, you really have to sort of change your approach to playing these holes.
It looks nice out there, the blue skies, plenty of high sunshine, but it's a challenge because those winds have really freshened up. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. And what happened here in 1973?
The old squire, Gene Sarazen himself, made an ace.
He was 71 years old playing his final Open. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, how does the front nine finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided. That's an absolute beauty.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Trying to make yet another birdie.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, you come to an Open Championship, and you expect to hear the term gorse. You see it here on the 11th hole. If you do end up in the gorse, what can you possibly do to get out?
Well, anything you can. A lot of the times it's an unplayable lie, but if you remember back 2004, Ernie Els tried to play a ball when it was suspended about 3 feet off the ground and managed to flick it out of the sort of the thorny gorse.
And wait for it. Yes, 105 yards away. Frank, we were commenting earlier in the day that this round had really gone wrong. Are you surprised that he's been able to put it back together?
Oh, certainly. He'd lost his composure, his rhythm. So really to be playing this well so quickly after that, you tip your hat.
Always a chance in this game. Has it. Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You've just got to keep it out of those high breezes and play away from the trouble.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Frank, break down the par 4 13 for us.
Another par 4 that bends to the right. Lots of undulation on this fairway. This is the first of 6 straight holes that head in the direction of the clubhouse. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie.
Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
No doubt about that one. That was struck with confidence. Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Good swing, good shot yet again. Birdie try up next. Birdie putt coming up. A par on this hole yesterday. Good putt. The back 9 here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it on the green from behind the burn. That was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible.
And his third here at the par 5.
He's made it. Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back 9 at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. What did he do at this 16th hole?
He hit a driver for his second shot into a head breeze from about 270 yards. Managed to get it on the green, then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
You knew he was something special back then, didn't you?
Yeah, he was the only one that even tried that shot.
Go ahead and do that for birdie. Frank, at the 1989 Open Championship, Greg Norman was in great position in that playoff with Mark Calcavecchi, and I believe it was Wayne Grady. What happened to Norman?
Well, he started off tremendous in the playoff. The playoff was 1, 2, 17, and 18. He birdied the first and the second hole. Missed the 17th green just on the left. Took 3 from the edge, which allowed Calcavecchi and Wayne Grady back in. Then took driver up off 18. It bounced just 1 hop too far and found that bunker on the right side. And, of course, the rest was history, and Mark Kalkovecka was crowned the Open champion.
Great white sharks so often so unlucky at major championships. To win the Open Championship.
Rich, it came down to just a shot or two here or there, but we were treated some amazing golf this week.
Just one player standing, and that was earned, well-deserved, beautifully played. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that, hanging in the sky.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem.
Now putt for par.
Settles in over the putt. Even par early on. Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means...
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, is a player thinking birdie here on this approach shot at the second hole?
Anything with the scoring club here, as long as you can get the distance right and get into the right section, is very much a birdie hole.
I mean, really, on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Frank, Pete Dye certainly gives you a variety of holes, and we see that. Granted, 3 par 4s to start, but each one with a different look.
They certainly are, Rich, and it's amazing what one good bunker will do. And the bunker I'm referring to is the one down the left side. It's about 285 yards to carry. It's the sort of bunker that keeps you honest.
Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That'll leave him with a good birdie opportunity, only about 10 feet away. That's a good shot. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Par attempt here. And with that par, moves into third place. Back over now to the fourth. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line.
Frank, what'd you say at the top? Die on the left, die on the right. Is this what you were talking about?
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Grab the fire extinguisher. Put out that ball is on fire. It's melting going through the air. Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Oh, my goodness. He pumped it, he thumped it, he jumped it. What a drive. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Your swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Oh, what an eagle.
It's going to be wild out there. This place is absolutely buzzing right now. Frank, I love a par 3 where you have to hit one solid golf shot. Anything less, and you might pay a severe price. 255-yard par 3-6. What a hole.
No, you love watching somebody else play a par 3 like that.
Right. Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
And with that birdie, he moves into first place.
And look at the look in the eyes now.
Frank, if you want to play this game at the highest level, and no doubt our players do, you have to sort of be tactical. When you break down shots or break down a hole, how would you break down this hole in a very smart way?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. A lot of people would think 350 yards, you could bash a driver down there, you'd finish up in trouble. Well, the way to be aggressive on a strategic hole is to just put the first one in play in a position where you can attack with the second. And there's no shame in that. You can still walk off here more days than often than not with a 3.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. .555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 130-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly allowed. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Now the approach shot here on this par 5 8th.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. This from 7 feet.
Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship.
Frank, the par 4 9th at 452 yards is all you want.
You could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you just got to keep out of your own way.
That one came right off the meat of the bat. He really laid into that.
More than got a piece of that.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Frank, how about this hole, the par 5 11th? Long one.
Oh, it is. And, you know, anything over 600 yards, only the longest it is the Bubba Watsons, the Dustin Johnsons of the world. The other ones that can get home on a hole like this. For the other ones, even those bunkers down the left side are sort of in play. You at least have to give them a cursory look off the tee. Nothing wrong with a hole, a par 5 that you can't reach. You still play it as a 3-shotter. And in some respects, you get rewarded for laying up here because that water that comes in on the left-hand side, that's not going to be in play.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Knocking down all the shots today now. 13 under. To the par 4 12th here at PGA West, short at 363 yards. Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. And now we're at the par 3 13th hole, 214 yards. Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Getting set now over the putt. And that's a birdie. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really. Poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play. 290, 300 yard category and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, it's obvious he is in complete command of his golf ball right now. Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par and let's forget about it. It's going to hurt the course.
Now at the 15th, par 4, 468 yards. It is nicknamed Turning Home as we are making our way towards the close of this round. And
now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
Nice putt. Count it.
Now the par 5 16th, dog leg, and it's at 600 yards, so a little bit of an advantage to the big bomber, Frank.
Yeah, they can almost take a big chunk out of this hole by going down the left side. If you can take that bunker out of play, and that's a big hit to get past that, then all of a sudden, shortest point between two places is a straight line. You've really reduced this hole into something closer to 570 yards. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Good stroke, just came up empty. So just a formality here.
That has to feel good. That's a birdie. Well, well, well. Here we are at the famous Alcatraz.
Terrific golf shot.
And now, that for an easy birdie.
Just a couple of feet. Good putt.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Continuing to putt with confidence. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live second round coverage of the California Classic. So the action is underway. We'll take you out now to our featured golfer here at number 1. Stepping up to the first tee and off a surprisingly good first round. Let's see if our featured player can conjure up some of that magic here in round 2.
Well, that's just how you envision it when you walk to the first tee. High and deep, right in the middle of the fairway. Good way to start. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. On the green, and a chance for birdie here in the first hole. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Great start.
Teed up here at the second hole, Frank, this is a short par 4 measuring about 370 yards.
While it mightn't have the yardage, it's certainly made up in strategy by all the bunkering down here, Rich. And it's really 2 bunkers that you've got to, or 2 complexes that you've really got to worry about. One down the left, you see, is about 285 yards to carry, and then that next crop comes in just about 300 yards. So you've got to decide whether to go over the bunker on the left and short of the other one, or even lay up to the right, perhaps short. And that's where you realize this is very much a 2-shot hole, and play it that way.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Well, how about this start? Birdie, birdie to open the round. Moving to the third hole, it's a par 4 again. This one, 471 yards.
What a great shot.
That's in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Pretty close. We'll be looking at about 15 feet for birdie. Birdie try again here today.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
He'll take par and move on.
First par 3 of the day. It is the 4th here at PGA West, sitting at just under 200 yards in the card.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He has this putt for birdie.
So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Frank, what'd you say at the top? Die on the left, die on the right. Is this what you were talking about?
Exactly, yeah. The 5th hole here, it's called double trouble. So yeah, there's chances for grief on both sides of this fairway. But if you're long enough, if you can just sneak it past 335, that's where the water runs out. This is reachable.
So if you do sneak it out there, and that would be the longer hitters, you might have what into this green?
Well, you can get home hybrid, maybe even something shorter. But remember, it's called double trouble. Avoid that. Maybe double eagle.
And it makes the green in regulation. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, I love a par 3 where you have to hit one solid golf shot. Anything less, and you might pay a severe price. 255-yard par 3/6. What a hole.
No, you love watching somebody else play a par 3 like that.
You're right. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been.
Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards. So I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Good par. .555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Well, this could be good. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, the 9th hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
A sensational shot right there, Frank. Always nice to be comfortably inside that cut line. A wily golf instructor makes birdie. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 8.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big.
That was nuclear.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. That's the idea. Just knock it in.
Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards.
Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard. Should be safely on deck.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Settles in over the putt.
Just misses.
Oh my goodness, he just missed that. And that was almost half-in distance. So a tester from 4 feet.
Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
Now the par 4 12th, only 363 yards, but Frank, it is intricate. There's a lot involved, isn't there, in playing a hole like this?
Yeah, I think this is where you have to work out, which clubs do you hit the best? Are you better with a 9-iron? Are you better with a wedge? Because that's the distance you want to hit it to. That's how you can be aggressive, even when you're laying up. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Birdie try up next. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card.
Well, Frank, we came off a hole, the short par 4 12th, where players no doubt were thinking about making birdie. Here, it's a different story. Why?
It is. Well, 13's always going to be unlucky for some. There's so much water down there on that left side. And the way it sort of laps up to the wooden bulkhead, it looks anything other than a straight shot. And this is where you have to mentally move the flag. You've got to push that flag in your mind's eye to the right side of the green and say, I do not want to go left of that.
Good putt.
Well, Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Par 4 15th, measuring in at 468 yards. Frank, if a player needs to make a big move at the close of the round, how could they get at this hole location and make a birdie? They call this turning home.
I think that's where you have to be a little more aggressive off the tee shot. A drive of 280 yards can certainly take those two bunkers down the left out of play. There is one in the distance down there, 350 yards, so even the longest hitters can still hit driver down there. You imagine pumping one down there, sort of 340 yards. Now you turn a long hole into a drive and a wedge. That's how you get aggressive.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Frank, this could be an exciting and pivotal point in the round, the par 5 16th.
Especially if the player decides to have a go here. If you're going to take it on a direct line, then you've got to carry all of that bunker complex. But then the other thing to realize, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just in a bunker, right? It's worth a go. Either that, hit it down the right side. There's no way you're going to reach this par 5 and 2.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putt. So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz? Par 3 17th at 168 yards.
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you.
On the green, and a chance for birdie.
Second shot.
Makes the putt for a birdie.
Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie.
Frank, I thought that was in.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage.
Today it's live, third round coverage of the California Classic.
Well, that's just how you envision it when you walk to the first tee. High and deep, right in the middle of the fairway. Good way to start.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game. Yeah, great start.
Second hole's just 371 yards. Frank, are players licking their chops, thinking they need to make a 3 here?
Yeah, if you can just accept the fact that you're going to have a longer second shot than you'd think for a hole of 370 yards, then that's the first way to overcome this. Just put yourself a short iron in your hand. Do the attacking with the second shot.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Second shot coming out of the rough here. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Birdie try again here today. Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard.
Frank, players had hybrids. Some had irons out off the tee on that short par 4 second. Time to get the big stick out here on the third?
It certainly is. The third hole you play here, 3 totally different looks off the tee. This hole appears straightish off the tee, but well bunkered down the left, which makes you push that tee shot a little to the right. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. That was a solid strike and a good result. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Just has the feel today.
First par 3 of the day. It is the 4th here at PGA West, sitting at just under 200 yards in the card. Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
He's made it. Frank, what'd you say at the top? Die on the left, die on the right. Is this what you were talking about?
Both sides of this fairway, but if you're long enough, if you can just sneak it past 335, that's where the water runs out. This is reachable.
So if you do sneak it out there, and that would be the longer hitters, you might have what into this green?
Well, you can get home hybrid, maybe even something shorter, but remember it's called double trouble. Avoid that, maybe double eagle.
Had a birdie here yesterday in their close. Great opportunity for another one. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, a long par 3 here at the 6th, 255 yards. Club selection obviously is crucial.
Yeah, and length is very important here. Something that can fly high and land soft is obviously going to make that green play a little bit bigger. If you get a breeze off the right or left to right into, this hole becomes very challenging.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
Wow, what a birdie. Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards. So I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right. And if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side, though. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating. How did that not go in?
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. And in for birdie.
Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a free shotter like it is for everybody else.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards.
Now the approach shot here on this par 5 8th.
Oh, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brittle out there.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Frank, the par 4 90 at 452 yards is all you want.
Yeah, you could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
This is some drive. I'm reminded of the old Phillies baseball announcer, Harry Callis, who used to say, "That ball is out of here." This is a good-looking shot. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, continuing at PGA West in the career.
Well, when he goes after it like he is here.
Looks to be putting everything into this one. Just destroyed it.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, is this a definite green light, the approach at the par 4 10th?
Well, there's enough opportunities at PGA West for the long hitters. This is an opportunity for the really good iron players. This is where they have a chance to shine, because a good iron player will give himself a birdie putt here. A poor iron player here, all of a sudden they'll find trouble. Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance.
Oh boy, this is a long par 5, the 11th at PGA West, 617 yards.
Good tee shot right in the short grass.
Second shot.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Continues to putt beautifully.
Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
Club has been pulled, ready for the second shot now at the par 4 12th.
No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great pitch shot.
Tricky par 3 here, the 13th, 214 yards.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. He'll do it again today. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he has it for birdie.
Now to the par 4 15th hole, 468 yards. Frank, what do you like about number 15?
The variation of the bunkering here, Rich, I think is excellent. The bunker that meanders its way down the right side tends to go to the right, and then you start to see those two bunkers down the left side. You've really got to try and take that second one on the left out of play. That requires something in excess of 280 yards. From there on in, you've got a chance.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
Not too much and not too little. Perfectly played into the center of the cup.
Now the par 5 16th, dog leg, and it's at 600 yards, so a little bit of an advantage to the big bomber, Frank.
Yeah, they can almost take a big chunk out of this hole by going down the left side. If you can take that bunker out of play, and that's a big hit to get past that, and all of a sudden, the shortest point between two places is a straight line. You've really reduced this hole into something closer to 570 yards. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
On the green in regulation.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz, and I've never heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz. Well, this is straight at it.
It's a really good line.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the three bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You're allowed to move wrong with that.
That shot falls for a birdie. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour.
Golf Channel on NBC and EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the California Classic. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. This for another birdie on this hole on the week.
Comfortably knocks it in.
To the second hole now, par 4, only 371 yards. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
It's really a layup hole here. No need to hit driver down there. The biggest bunker in the distance there is about 300 yards. You have to avoid that. Nothing wrong with hitting an iron or even a hybrid off this.
Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. Yeah, the hole's not over.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Now to the third hole, a par 4, 471 yards. Frank, break this hole down for us.
Well, the trouble appears down that left side with the series of bunkers, but you've got to take into account the trees that are well positioned down the right side. Plus, as you can see, this fairway is not exactly flat.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, this looks to be the kind of approach shot here at number 3 that a high-level professional would like to hit.
We don't see as many guys cut the ball as what we used to in the sort of Lee Trevino days. So really the modern day player likes to hit the ball right to left, and this is a second shot that certainly suits that.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. He's made it. Frank, here's a case at the fourth hole, this par 3, of Pete Dye kind of messing with a player's mind. Just how does he do it?
Well, there's a straight line between that tee and the flag. That's the obvious thing. But if you follow the look of the hole down there, it's just the shaping of the bunkers, the little curving of the edges there that just take that mind's eye away, almost making it look like there's a little bit of a dog leg in a straight hole. Very clever.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Beautiful roll on that one, right in the bottom.
Well, here we are at the fifth hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to get you one way or the other.
This has exploded off the club face.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. I tell you, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. That is classy.
No chance of going in.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Really solid strike.
This is 255 yards, par 3, water everywhere you look. This is a real test.
It's called Amen, and whatever religion that you subscribe to, you better say a prayer before this one.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. is in the hole for a birdie.
Frank, if you want to play this game at the highest level, and no doubt our players do, you have to sort of be tactical. Will you break down shots or break down a hole? How would you break down this hole in a very smart way?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. A lot of people would think 350 yards, you could bash a driver down there, you'd finish up in trouble. Well, the way to be aggressive on a strategic hole is to just put the first one in play in a position where you can attack with the second. And there's no shame in that. You can still walk off here more days than often than not with a 3.
Looks like he just misread that. Trying to make yet another birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Settles in over the putt. Cleans that up in the hole.
Now the second par 5 on this opening 9 here at PGA West. Frank, what are we looking at?
When he goes after it like he is here.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
He's hit it very close, and he will have that, Frank, for an eagle.
Amazing how quickly the round changes. He'll quickly pick up 2 shots on the field.
Frank, the 9th hole at 452 yards. That water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability.
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards. Then you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
See if you can get this one to drop. Big birdie putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Excellent front side. Trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, again, this would appear to be a pretty good scoring opportunity.
This is so much about getting the distance right here. Bunkers on the left. There's the water to carry, that's needless to say, but also the mounding that's just behind the screen and to the right. It's very easy to just take the trouble out of play in the front and then find the trouble behind the screen.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Oh boy, this is a long par 5, the 11th at PGA West, 617 yards. That's in the fairway. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it was well on the cards.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday, and another opportunity on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here. Ooh, that hurts.
Frank, can't fault him there, trying to make an eagle.
It's a rare bird, but the pleasure of making one, well worth the effort.
continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. That's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. That's good work. That's a good par right there. Frank, this is no easy shot here at the par 3 13th.
Yeah, 13th hole. I mean, it's so appropriate, the number of the hole for this this design by Pete Dye. Wooden bulkheads, I mean, they give you sort of that harsh look. And this is just an absolute scorecard wrecker. You get a little cavalier here, you just rack up a number. There's nothing wrong with just hitting it to the right side of this green, just taking the three.
Will make birdie if he holds this putt.
Solid stroke there, no sign of nerves on that.
Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out here on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. Your game plan.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Pretty good putt, Frank. Just didn't quite read it correctly.
Yeah, would have certainly liked that to go in.
That's the idea. Just knock it in.
Now to the par 4 15th hole, 468 yards. Frank, what do you like about number 15?
The variation of the bunkering here, Rich, I think is excellent. The bunker that meanders its way down the right side tends to go to the right, and then you start to see those two bunkers down the left side. And you've really got to try and take that second one on the left out of play. That requires something in excess of 280 yards. From there on in, you've got a chance.
See what they do now with this second shot at hole number 15.
Safely on deck.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration.
Here we go now, the final par 5 of the day, Frank.
Yeah, decision on how much you bite off here. If you play the ball to the right, then it's going to play its full 600 yards. But if you can take it in a direct line at that green, you're going to chew off a little bit of yardage. But you have to be able to carry that bunker.
And through the years, a lot of excitement here at this par 5 16th.
Split the fairway with that. Just a gorgeous swing. Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, earlier in the day, we were talking about how this round was pretty much off the rails. I'm shocked that he's put it back together.
Yeah, he looked early on completely out of it.
Safely aboard. What a tremendous display of golf this has been.
Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz, and I've never heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. And getting ready for the putt. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the 3 bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup.
Just a tremendous week of golf, and that, my friend, is a winner right there.
Yeah, and he should be proud of himself too. It took golf of the highest quality to beat this high-quality field, and that is something that you will remember for a long, long time.